You had a good question, G.
What's up?
Will people be after this? Will people be open to the idea of retreating further away from cities?
Yes, yes. I was thinking just because like what you found. Well, since this has been so prevalent on how cities were hit this past time.
Yeah,
So with the looting and the rioting, and how much traction was in downtown areas, I'm just wondering, and especially because people are stuck in the house too anyway, so they can't go to work. So they get to see is if people are watching the news right now, y'all gotta be sick as hell. Like y'all gotta really be in the house in the fetal position with as much shit that can take place on the news timeline right now.
yeah.
But I was thinking like would that make people more interested in hauling up or paying less for housing and all that to go out into like the countrysides. You know what I mean? Like to get out further from a city, even if you have to travel in. But right now, I mean, it's gonna seem like a lot of companies may not want to even start setting up shop. You
Yeah,
know, what I mean, in physical locations. Whether I mean, maybe their executive team,
yeah.
but chances are they're probably not going to have people come pull up to a location anymore. So would that make people more prone? I don't know if that's going to how much that's going to affect people's like actual salaries that they're pulling in, but would that make them more prone to now be willing to go further from those city areas and raise their families and uh, you know live a more you know less compact life, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Space.
Yeah.
Just what we the whole concept of 40 acres and a mule. The sort of reinforcement that project housing, or government housing in general, sort of reinforces a sort of prison structure, compact, really tight. And a lot of us were raised in city limits too, so it's not a knock on it. But
Mm-hmm.
the after a while, we've been tricked into not being out in the sticks and not wanting to go, not wanting to be like we're missing something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where I land on that per se, G. Um, I've kind of always been in a realm of where I wanted to be out and not necessarily out and away, but enough real estate to, to to do some limited farming, vegetation, agriculture, um, building workshops, just to have hands and and quite honestly to be in a place to offer refuge to
Mm-hmm.
people in transition.
That's the big part.
Is has always been a significant sort of um, part of it happened for me and my family, like when my parents divorced. um, Shout out to Auntie Nisi, and Freak and that whole family. Like they took us in, and then Grandma took us in, and then in college Morgan took me in, and the Montgomerys took me. It's like these different times in my life where people have been able to offer refuge, and it's like the only way, the only like I and shout out Mona is just like, bro, you ain't pay us back. You pay us back by reaching your potential,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then pay it forward. But to hell with that paying it back shit. Pay it forward, and I'm like, damn, that makes sense. It makes sense. So part again, I'm personalizing it though, but when I saw that, it had been such a relevant topic, and we were talking about it at length last night. Shout out Don, cousin Donald. He wants to go back to Alabama so bad, and his frustration behind people not understanding. Bro, when I'm gonna shell out $500,000 for 1,400 square feet in California for, where he's like, I could take a quarter of that and go to Alabama and have like property, and you're like, damn, it's the economics of it.
Mm-hmm.
With the is the real estate thing and the proximity thing the same game that is had upon us in terms of marketing, where it's like Adidas, Nike, all these different brands that are outsourcing their mass production to China and to India and all these other parts where jobs aren't generated here. The car industry going away, and then we give all our dollars right back to it, and then in the meantime, to house the things that they're outsourcing to be built out of the country, they can house them here and then receive tax breaks on those warehouses here on the backs of us. It's a really fucked up system when you think about it. And so for me, I'm beginning to have that, like the lore of being in California and how everything is so overpriced here, and then how we're overtaxed here too. It's starting to not add up. Like my family's here. Overworked, yeah. My family's here. The weather, and and all the opportunity is in the Bay, in LA, the tech. You like, yo, for the chance. Man, fuck that. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to somewhere where I can get some more bang for my buck, some space, and I can still work remotely. If you need me, send for me. If not, I can do it from home. Like that. We've just worked from home for the last 3 months. No, the people who's making money, who was gonna make money are making money, and everybody else is sent back to figure it out. And that was my point, like the resurgence of the mom and pop, like the local patronism in neighborhoods. So for where the black produce stores, the black cleaners, the barbershop, the beauty salons, the beauty supplies, the black banks, the black restaurants, you name it. Like we're all like the 80s and crack wiped all that shit out, bro. And we don't get a chance to talk about it at length and really unpack the attack that was on black economics. I can't reiterate that shit enough, and people keep calling me like, how are y'all not seeing that this is racism is 100% tied to money? How? Because if we got our own money and we spending with each other, guess what they not getting? Our fucking dollar. Target's gonna be okay, people. Just want to let you know that when you got your stimulus check, Target got a fucking a payroll tax break. Amazon, who don't Jeff Bezos don't pay taxes. He got an employment. He got a payroll tax break, people. So please don't mention looting to me again. I don't care. Burn that shit. Seriously.
Some of those buildings got paid off with the looting.
With the looting, and they already got the same stimulus breakdown you got too.
They got doubled down.
Double the fuck down. So stop. Don't mention that to me no more. Don't, because I'm gonna lose it. What are we talking about?